Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish the story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do. Push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Good evening, everybody. Happy hump day to you, man. It's your boy, Coach Lee. Welcome to the Parlay Perspective, episode number 4, I believe. Man, we've been running with this. Y'all gave us great feedback. Just what we going to do, keep it rolling. But again, happy hump day to everybody, man. We are 2 days away from the weekend. It's almost time to kick it again. And let's get the crew up here. We got a action-packed show for y'all tonight. Lots of great topics, out of the norm, some norm. But regardless, we're going to bring that heat to you. And right off the top, the man of 1,000 hats. Hats for days, hats for days, hats for days. Let's get my brother up in here. Meta Watt.
Hump day, baby. What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday, 2.1 here. Thank you, Coach, for bringing me in tonight. Hope everybody is ready and tuned in tonight. What's going on, Chris? I see you, man. You was here kind of early. You had your popcorn ready, man. Shout out to you, man. I'm going to throw your comment up there. First comment of the night. You know, I see you, Josh, over here, man. We got you in a second. You know what it is. Like, share, and subscribe, man. STWF-TV. But we can't continue tonight without the third man. Yes, it's the third man. This is the third man. And nah, he ain't old like Hogan. But we're going to call him Chill Hogan tonight, man. He got Chili Well on the screen. But we're going to call him Chili Hogan tonight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Not the prayer.
What you going to do, brother?
I know you. I know you know what I was doing.
Throwback there, man.
Right, took it back. What's good with y'all, man? What's good with y'all?
That might be a chop-up topic.
Say less. The answers from different eras. Don't be stealing. Don't be stealing.
We'll do that.
Shout out to you, Lil J's Donuts. How you doing, Josh, man? Much love, baby.
Start your mornings off with a Lil J's donut. Actually, man, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. Grab you a donut.
I'm actually right now. Dances from different eras. Yeah,
I seen that video, man. After the pick six.
That was cold. I saw it today, man. That was cold-blooded.
Yeah.
If you can put a voiceover on there, it's probably like, man, get your shit out of here.
Wait. I didn't see. All I saw him was him acting like, yo, what the fuck was that? Like,
yeah, and then you see Daniels. Yeah. Whoa. Dude said, and they asked him in the interview, like, what you thought of the pick six? He said for him not to throw an interception. Like, all I had to do, not mess it up. And we was on air talking, and they was driving. And I'm sitting here like, oh, snap, my money's on the Giants. Cool. And then you told me
I called it out. I'm like, oh, he's gone. and it's funny because I said he's gone. He still had guys to beat, but it was just the space he had. He cut Daniel Jones, and it was over. Yeah, that was a wrap. Yeah. And then Tuke was like, trash.
I've been saying this for a minute, man. I think the man has made put the Giants in a bad predicament. I mean, not the signing this time around for the big money, but overall pitting that tree over there to try to grow in New York, knowing that damn well he was not none of y'all. It's ridiculous, man. And that's what happens, man, when you make it somewhat of a players league or players organization.
I don't know the entire backstory. You guys just said that they encouraged them to sign.
No, so he was one of their young proteges. Basically, they working out and stuff like that.
Oh,
so they gave good word. They gave good word on it. Say that
they endorsed him being drafted.
Exactly.
To be fair, like I know he got one now, but like he needed a legitimate quarterback style coach. Because when you got a guy who's not fully up to speed on how to play quarterback, you're gonna need a quarterback guru just to get him to where everyone else already starts at, and then to move further. And he didn't have that. But yeah, he's not good, man. He's not good. Keeping up with the Joneses, they both suck.
I think honestly and all, they gave him this money, and I'm sick that they didn't give Saquon the money, though he's hurt right now. Saquon's the engine that makes that team go.
Well, Saquon
that team can't even start and go 10 miles without Saquon Barkley. And this team right now.
And that is exactly why they couldn't pay his ass, because look where he's at. That's the problem. That's the problem. Double-edged sword, yeah.
New York in trouble. They QB's ass. They're running backs on the bench, so he's not a factor. I don't even know what the hell their wide receivers are still. And we thought they improved somewhat, probably not a lot. And Waller's been just a disappearing act.
Their big move was Waller and nothing else. Like, they didn't do anything else. Like so they got Waller and they drafted a receiver, and they're like, that should do it.
How crazy is it?
He has not been seen yet. Hyde is not that dude right now.
Nah, he had like 2 catches for 2 yards during the show yesterday. I was like, oh, that's my man's killing.
Remember all that barking he was doing when the Cowboy coach called him out?
He run straight. I remember during the draft, we liked Hyatt, but we always liked Addison more, and it's proven out. It's shown out now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, somebody said the other night it was a request of a certain league they wanted us to talk about.
Yes, they did.
We didn't talk about him before, but we're gonna talk about him tonight. I think it was P. Diddy, if I'm mistaken.
It was P. Diddy.
Yes, sir. It was P. Diddy, man. Hey, guys, we're going to start bringing different elements in here. We're sorry, and we love, though, when you give us feedback. And like I said, P. Dollar gave us feedback. What about hockey? And, hey, hockey's starting. Actually, some preseason games on tonight, but obviously the season hasn't started yet, but there's always rankings in sports, always pre-season rankings. And tonight, we're going to start our parlay perspective off with some NHL Power Rankings, fellas. So, obviously, we know who won the championship last year. If you don't, we're going to tell you right now, the team from Las Vegas, the Knights. Second time they've won the title since their expansion. I don't think they've been even in the NHL 10 years.
Not even a decade.
And they're the only Las Vegas team.
Just barely a decade.
Yes, and Las Vegas is sports rise. To get teams over there, the Vegas Knights are keeping it up right now. Go Boston Bruins, man. Hey,
love it.
A team in the regular season that always has the tune. And then in the playoffs, they just find some way to mess it up, man. But shout out to the Bruins.
Yeah, it's been rough. They play above what they should be all year. And then when you get to the playoffs, shit gets real, and that's when it comes down to earth.
Bruins games are real interesting, man. Great crowd.
Milan Lucic back on the Bruins. I look forward to seeing him beat people up again in that black and gold.
Yes, sir. So let's get through the NHL top 10. P. Dollar, man. P. Diddy. Somebody tag Patrick Dollar in here, man. Tell him to come through as we go through this top 10. Number 10, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And nobody's going to argue a good harbinger when the season starts with Captain Steven Stamkos. saying he's a little miffled. There have been no contract extension talks yet. Fair enough still. Let's not sleep on the boats, though. First off, the team in hockey needed a long rest more than Tampa after this 3 straight trips to the Stanley Cup Finals. And at points of Nika Gorichov just hit 30. I'm going to name these names. If I get them wrong and budge them, I'm sorry about that. Adriel Vazovsky will get there into next summer, and the likes of Braden Point, Mikhail Sergachev, and Anthony Cirelli are firmly in their prime. Tampa Bay Lightning is a team that's been around too, man. They've done their domination in the East. Last year was no downfall, but this is a team that could definitely be in the mix in the race. They will be in the mix.
They're almost always in it. Kucherov is unbelievable. I love how much of a talented hockey player he is, and the stuff that he does. He scored twice on the same goalie with a fake move and just let the puck go. Like that dude, if you watch hockey, y'all know about that move. Like Kucherov is crazy. Vasilevsky, he's been great. I look forward to seeing. I've always liked watching the Lightning because they always play a brand of hockey that's fun. They don't always win, but it's a good brand of hockey.
The Atlanta Thrashers, Chris, man, that's throwback. Let's go with you. Number 9, they're loaded in the middle. They're a loaded team. Questionable, maybe their goalie and Cam Tulber, he's 36 years old. That's the Los Angeles Kings. Until we see it from the tenders, though LA is operating with big question mark flowing above in the goalie, the team stacked. Got a lot of young guys in the mix, and their team looking up to up in their stake this year in the Western Conference and shock some guys and girls. I mean, if you get a championship in Las Vegas and Los Angeles in the NHL 2 years in a row, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna start to get Los Angeles Rams, LA Lakers like up there. So Kings number 9 over here. Trying to get this comment off here. Won't get off. But, Number 8, Kobe.
Hey, Kobe, but it's my Boston Bruins.
Nah, this team, I can say right now, they always have you thinking during the regular season that they are definitely going to shine to me. They actually last year broke the record, correct, for most single season points in the regular season.
Yeah, and they were playing well above who they actually were, and because they say that they weren't chasing that record, but because they ended up chasing it, I think that actually really hurt them when they got to the playoffs. Plus, they ran into a team who had injuries during the season, who was basically one of the best teams the year before, but had injuries during the season. So they went in a 1 seed versus an 8 seed who was basically a 1 seed because they got healthy, and we got spanked. That was not fun to watch. And this year is going to be tough because we losing Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci. 2 of Patrice is literally the captain for like all of Boston Bruins. There's only a few players you'll ever mention higher than Patrice at this point now. He retired, and Krejci is also leaving. He left and came back at one point with us, but he's always been a big part of our team. But Lucic is back. They get by with Pavel Zacha as the top line center. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know how it's going. I'm so used to, for like the last 15 to 18 years, we line up with our starting center being Patrice Bergeron. It's gonna be weird as shit to not see him in Jersey. So yeah, but I think we still have a solid team with some good youth on it.
So, and you got Pavel Zacha as one of the top line centers, and then pounce it off the UFA to the pivot such as Mark Shelfie and Elias Lindholm. The Bruins are gonna find some thugs in there. They're gonna find some guys that turn it up from teams. And like I said, man, hockey is amazing in Boston. I was able to go to my first hockey game last year, one of 3 I went to, and it was last year, and it was pretty dope. Number 7. I'm sorry. Can't disrespect the champs. I'm sorry, champs. They got
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Got y'all 7. I just let y'all up 5 minutes ago, and then I'm about to skip y'all motherfuckers.
Not only do they have him at 7, y'all almost skipped the champs, man.
I almost skipped. I keep up on the list, and I've seen the team that I'm sitting here loving because
right.
They're uprising.
But number 6, because it's your new home.
No. That's not even the team. You're about to tune in.
Okay. I got you.
This is all love right here. Definitely. Vegas Knights.
It's gonna be Jersey.
Vegas Knights. There's still a lot of like here, and we still have teams like the 2017 Penguins and the 2021 Lightning come right back and win it again. Still, it's difficult. We all know the defending champs. You got to defend it. In the NHL, we've seen teams do it before, but it's not common. That's why the NHL holds a special, that's why it holds a special place in people's eyes, because every year it's definitely not predictable. You can have these teams zoom, but anybody can come up on top.
Yeah,
indeed. Number 6, Coach, your Dallas Stars. I heard you raving about them last year. Don't always think of the Stars as the top 10 contender, but then you remember Dallas.
Let's go Stars.
Yeah, man. Hey, they you remember they had actually been to a Final Four or better twice in the past 4 playoffs. Young guys, Jason Robertson, Miles Hackerson, Root Henson, Jake Auditor are the early stages of their prime. They're old guys, though. Either stop being good or just recovered something last year. The Stars can absolutely take this down. The Stars can, like you said, be on the mix to try to get there again. They're a team that absolutely played hard last year. They're an exciting team last year.
Pretty good in the preseason, too, man.
The preseason, I said, man, opening up, man. When does the season start like that? I think the 10th. Maybe lying on the 13th. Look that up for us, please. Someone do it. Because number 5, I'm going to let y'all know right now, number 5 to a conference final this year.
He's biased. Jersey kid.
Biased this year. And that's the New Jersey Devils. I've been calling it for the last. I said 5 years ago that we gonna come up. The draft pick that we started for all these years, we're gonna make ransom and make a good thing work. Okay. And last year I seen a lot from my Devils. Though it was a quick exit.
5 years ago.
only Tuchel put some real hype around being wrong for 5 years.
No. I told Sean Silver is the ex. I'm trying to get Sean Silver over here to try to get some hockey, talk some hockey. He's a great hockey analyst. He's a guy go to a hockey. He was saying the Devils will never get nowhere. They're going to be in the bottom of the pit hole forever. And last year was great to see these guys perform and compete, man, and be number 5 on a preseason ranking list. If you're a Jersey Devils fan, it is great, man. You remember the days, Dominic Hasek and you winning cups. And you don't win cups, man. Those a long time ago. You can't really talk about those no more. On a new day. You got to win one now. And hopefully my Jersey Devils couldn't win one now. Please.
And check it back in. Yes, Tuesday, October 10th will be opening night.
Oh, and what's crazy? I looked at that today, and I try to keep it in my mind. See, I'm getting this. I'm getting this NHL shit, guys. We're going to keep rolling, man. We're going to try to talk as much NHL as we can.
Remember the whole day.
We'll try to keep up on it. Number 4.
Yeah,
I guess we got to have some Connor McDavid in here. And that's the Edmonton.
What do you mean, I guess? I guess we'll talk about the single best player in the NHL.
Yeah,
I guess.
We'll talk about him. Yes, I'm sorry. Analyzing all his chances has increasingly become about one thing. Even the Algerian sport, just as hockey, a team led by Connor McDavid eventually gets his championship. It's 2004 that time for Edmonton. Well, you got it. In the sense of we just said he's the single best player in the NHL, you have to put those pieces around him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they basically only gave him one guy in Draisaitl. I guess they have a few other decent players, but they need to put a better team around him because he is. But again, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the early, the first trip for Braun with the Cavs, where he plays them out of what their overall talent is. He plays them out of that. So they don't get to pick well or pick high. So they have to draft even better, and it's not always. And I don't know if I figured guys would be flocking to play with him because he's not just a scorer; he can pass his ass off too. So I wonder why more people, or maybe they don't want to spend the money. I don't know enough of the backstory behind that, but he should be loaded with talent around him because they could win. They could win it. He's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, the best. They're not calling. They're the second best team in Canada according to this list. The reason why nobody wants to play with him because there's another team, and they call them maybe the Dallas Cowboys. I'm starting to think Boston Celtics, type of teams that it's all year, and then you don't win. And that's the Toronto Maple Leafs at number 3. Now I hear from everybody all the time.
I don't appreciate that shot.
They haven't won nothing since forever, but they always one of the top teams every year.
I don't appreciate your ruse, sir.
New GM Brad Trevor wasted no time putting his preferred favorites in his stew. If you're a naysayer, you're well within the rights to bring up the past failures. But even in the biggest detractor has to acknowledge that's way too much raw material here to say won't one day hit on the winning formula. But you've been trying to win on this formula forever. So when are you really going to show up and finally show the world that not only you're a talented team, you have talent. You've had talent all across your lineup forever. For years.
Now this isn't a response shot. This is literally just how they're viewed. The Maple Leafs are actually more viewed like the Cowboys. Seriously, like they
are. They are more viewed like Cowboys. No, absolutely. Cowboys. That's what I said. My Cowboys.
Yeah. And it's funny. You did say. You're right.
They're the number one team in Canada, and that's why nobody want to play with Connor McDavid. Though it seems like the Edmonton Oilers is having more success as a franchise, in the Chirpers here winning and not, being confused. But we'll see this year. Toronto can get over the hump. Number 2, the Carolina Hurricanes was a world which the Canes entered the 2003 Stanley Cup playoffs with Andrei Shikhinov and Max Payarty as scoring threats on the wing. Instead, they lost both to injury, and it was too much to overcome. And still, Carolina advanced to the conference finals before being stopped by a Panthers squad on a serious heater. One of these years, the Canes' number will get pulled.
Svechnikov. I was sitting there trying to figure out how to pronounce that name. It's Svechnikov. Russian names are outrageous. There's almost no vowels.
Svechnikov. Yeah, it's Svechnikov.
It's Svechnikov. Yeah,
it's Svechnikov.
Svechnikov.
Svechnikov with the goal.
I expect him to be shooting at Bruce Willis.
I feel like we're gonna hear that name a lot this season. We're gonna get it to the notch and to the key. Number 1 team in the NHL according to preseason rankings, the Colorado Avalanche, the champs of 2002, dealt with the hangover last season. Then traveled to Europe early on the calendar. They also didn't really know the status of Captain Gabriel Landeskog until games were played. But in all, this team right here, their team last year, I thought it was going to take it all, man, and a lot of money was definitely made. Hey, maybe some money this year, Going in a nice 4-month summer stretch to heal and get hungry again. Alexander Gorchev is ready to come through, man, for this Avalanche team, man, and handle the business.
Well, so we covered a little bit of hockey. The biggest story for me that I most want to see going into this year is the young phenom, the number 1 overall pick for the Blackhawks, Connor Bedard. This kid, if you've ever watched Sidney Crosby play, very similar, a little smaller. He's only like 5'10", 185. So he almost gives me like Bryce Young vibes in terms of I hope he stays healthy. But hockey players are much tougher, and he is much more skilled than Bryce Young. So I just want to see what this kid does. Like everything that we saw leading up to this, because he played 19 and under in the World League. I forget what the name of the league is, but he played 19 and under, and he was just picking dudes apart. Like his stick handling ability, he almost scored I think he did score in his first preseason game with 2 assists. The kid Connor Bedard for the Blackhawks is someone to keep an eye on. If you are a big fan of hockey, you already know that. If you're not, that'll give you a reason to watch. You're basically, if he stays healthy, you're looking at the next like the next big generational talent.
And they're rebuild, right?
Yeah, I would hope if you get the first pick, that'd be great if you already had a good.
No, it was great seeing for them. They great seeing because there was a team too.
Because they had Patrick Kane in them. They had Kane and Jonathan Toews, and I'm not sure if Jonathan Toews is still there, but I know Kane moved on. Patrick Kane, one of my favorite players. He's an American player. One of my favorite players. He moved on. So yeah, they're in a little bit of a rebuild, but they had some times of greatness themselves. So look forward to returning to that stature with a guy like Connor.
Yes, sir, man. If we didn't mention your team in the top 10, man, that only means there's room for.
These just suck. No,
improvement from the team, man. The 10's not going to always remain the same. We'll see how the season plays out. Try to see if we can get some guys on the NHL side to come tell their side of the story.
Now, I'm not sure if that was our first story ever, but definitely our first
definitely not the first story ever.
No, but definitely like our first coverage of hockey, like a full
and y'all nailed it.
2 minutes.
try to get into a little more. I'm gonna try to watch a lot more this year. I used to really be a fan, like a big fan of hockey. Kind of fell off a little bit there when I was working at Fenway because I was just doing so much baseball and football and everything else. But we'll try to get back to that. Yeah. Where our people's at, man? Join up.
Join up over here, man. Join up over here. I know it's Wednesday, man, and I know y'all getting into that fall mood, man. We want to be with your cuddle buddy. But tell your cuddle buddy y'all coming out here to watch STWF.
It's a whole Wednesday. Y'all ain't got shit else to do. Get up on here, man. Join us.
Come join us.
Next up, we got a little bit of NBA news. So obviously, right off the bat, I'm evaluating the Celtics and Bucks trade after a week of it happening. What's your analysis of it?
I'll jump right in because it's my team.
Did the Celtics get better?
Yeah, definitely. We lost a little depth, but so I was under the idea that the reason we got rid of Marcus Smart, one of our like a defensive player of the year, best defender on the wing. I'm thinking like we got rid of him, the soul of our team, and brought in Porzingis because we wanted another big in there who could also score, another scorer, shooter, but also someone who is a big, but when you pull out Robert Williams, or if he's hurt, like you got a guy who can still stretch the floor and get you buckets and still kind of protect the rim at times. So I'm like, all right, so now we have three big men if you add Al Horford doing whatever he does at his age, even though he still plays great defense for the most part. He's like 90 years old at this point. So I was like, all right, cool. So now we built some depth at the big spot. And then we made this deal. And look, I'm over the first round picks. That might come back to bite us because some of those are unprotected. We'll see how that works out. We're not worried about the future. We're worried about right now. So I understand that. But also when you move, I mean, Brogdon, good. He had to go. The only way to get Drew here is to move Brogdon because of the contracts. When they move Williams with him, Robert Williams, I'm like, it's a lot. Now the players, Drew's going to be worth it. Drew is nasty. Great defender. Probably the best pure point guard we've had here.
Since Rondo?
Since Rondo. Yeah, basically since Rondo. Don't get me wrong. In terms of playing pure point, Kyrie can do it, but that wasn't what he was brought here to do.
Right.
So he was brought here to get buckets. And Kemba kind of the same thing. So, the best pure point we've had since Rondo, and also a great defender. Clutch had some issues shooting in the playoffs. Better shooter, better spot-up shooter than Smart will ever be. So we got better on both sides of the ball, like, easily. Now, the place where it's going to hurt is the depth. I do hope they find another a big who could move and play some defense or something. But if not, we still got, I think, Neemias Queta, something like that. He's a body. O'Shea Brissett from the Pacers. If Lewis was here, he'd be like, O'Shea. But so we have some legitimate pieces, and obviously we have like a big four now. You got Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, and Drew. That is pound for pound as good as any other four that's being put on the court. I think the closest would be the Suns with Beal. They got Beal, KD, Booker, and I guess Nurkic. So, I think our team got better. But health is going to be more paramount maybe than ever because the depth isn't crazy. So I think we got better. I think this team, barring a major injury, and even with an injury, Tatum and Brown, they're running out of excuses. I'll tell you that right now. They're running out of excuses. They got to get shit done. They can't just get to they got to win one, either this year or next year.
Bravo to the ball. Are they trying to get smart as the time's dwindling? Yes, they are. Because we just mentioned for years, the draft picks don't mean shit. Why are you hiding all of them? And ever since Brad Stevens has been in the driver's seat,
he's like, fuck all these. He's like, trade them all. We don't care.
Crazy thing about the trade that just happened between the two, the Blazers and the Celtics, was that the Jazz and Danny Ainge was trying to get something for Drew, and Brad had the better deal.
Yeah.
With his picks. with Danny Ainge's picks.
Danny
Ainge is trying to package in his own over in Utah.
Yeah.
But the Celtics, I could say, as a hater, I definitely got to throw some haterism in there.
Yeah,
they definitely got better in terms of what people should expect from them. You know what I'm saying? Good pieces, man. You got a better Marcus Smart and Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you said, health's gonna be, a factor. Porzingis has dealt with health issues.
Yeah.
Drew has even dealt with health issues. But the way the Celtics play their game in the Eastern Conference, they'll be 1-2 in the East this year, like you said, barring injuries. And if those guys that are behind Jalen, Tatum, Porzingis, and Drew can just sit there and play their role, Pritchard puts his mind in the system. You've been there for a little bit now. I think they'll be decent. Now, you keep Al Horford. And I kind of feel like that's to kind of keep the locker room at a medium. So I'm not mad that they kept him.
He's a locker room and Giannis keep. Because he actually plays. No one can stop Giannis, really. But when you put Horford on him, Horford makes him work. And then as a team, they come and collapse on him and force him to pass out and stuff like that. So they kept him for the locker room and to try to
Giannis paid $50K, man, to get some footwork this year. So if Giannis' footwork is worth that $50K from the Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon, Al Horford might be Al Horford's last year in the league.
We did pull up the list of people who work with Hakeem, and like I said that day, mixed results. Like it don't work for everybody.
Nah, but honestly, awesome acquisition for Boston. They needed it. They needed that. And Drew's going to be a guy, and he's different from all the other guys they've had because if you follow Drew outside the NBA, great family man, great story. You know what I'm saying? Literally, I mean, he's a great community man, and he's definitely going to be a good guy over there, man. And not a person that's going to force a lot of shit. Shout out to Marcus Smart. That's my guy, but he forced a lot of shit. Drew Holiday ain't gonna force a lot of shit. He's gonna kind of know when to let Tatum and him ride, and then Tatum and Brown is gonna realize that you have a guy now that you can trust somewhat on the offensive floor, not chucking up crazy shit.
Also, in that, even though we have a lot of playoff experience and even finals experience, Drew got a ring, so that'll be helpful. Pretty sure he got one with the Bucks, right? That's when they got it when he went.
Yeah, he went. Yep. Got one with the Bucks, man. And it's crazy now. Everything aligns. Now we're gonna have potentially these two teams, the Bucks and the Celtics, in the finals preview. It seems like those are the only two teams that somewhat improved in the East. Everybody else is kind of going through their own problems, and we'll see how every other team goes. But it's gonna be interesting to see that first meeting between these two teams. We'll look that up right now. That's gonna be interesting.
Other teams still building and trying on different new wigs. So.
Getting that money. So, yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy.
So the other side of this, what do y'all think of the addition of Dame Lillard?
I think we talked about this a little bit last week because it had already happened. But yeah, obviously that's huge for them. If he can maintain his level of play that he's had for basically his whole career, or even the last couple of years when he's healthy, that's huge for them. That's a guy. Like, what do we know? We know Giannis will literally do every single thing on the court on both ends of the floor. The tough part is because he's not a great shooter, closing out games. Well, you just got one of the best closers in the league. So, ever. So, like, the guy who literally points at his wrist as a dance because it's Dame time, has a whole Dame time thing. So, look, I think they got a lot better adding him. Drew's still great. The defense that they lost from Drew leaving won't be affected as much when you consider that Dame can give you 30 at any point. So, it's the second guy that he really needed. Like, don't get me wrong, Middleton's a good guy next to him because he can shoot and play off ball, but Middleton probably shouldn't be a number 2, and now he's not. Now he's a number 3, and I think that's a good role for him. They still may have some depth issues, especially with some of the pieces they moved. We'll see how that.
Lopez brothers, huh?
Did they get Robin? Robin went over there. I love it. I love when they play together.
And Jay Crowder's still there.
Oh yeah, Jay Crowder and the Lopez brother going give you a couple cheap shots. They for that reason.
Yeah,
for that reason definitely. The Bucks trade for Dame, good trade. I mean, you have to keep Giannis there. So it's the only fair way, to have Dame there. I think, honestly, the only thing that's probably going to hold them back and where the Celtics probably have an edge at, and Will probably say, well, maybe not, because, this guy's still learning himself, is the coaching. Now, though Adrian Griffin is a former NBA player, he's in a new role as the head coach first year of the Bucks. Now, that's the only thing that's probably – we need to see how he's going to coach these guys, the schemes and all that, because it's not Mike Budenholzer. We know he was more in the defensive mode. I don't know what Adrian Griffin is going to give them, but in all, their team, they have some guys after key veterans, and Giannis has a guy that he can, call a sidekick, and hopefully Dame can do the same. And Chris Middleton right there playing third fiddle, it's going to be interesting too. Kind of keeps him relaxed.
Yeah, ESPN ain't update their rosters yet. That's a shame.
ESPN is the prime leader for basketball almost I play.
yeah, apparently not. They ain't update their. So I also want to talk about the Blazers. The Blazers kind of came out of this with some picks or I don't know if they got some. Yeah, they got some picks, but they also got Ayton. They got Ayton, Robert Williams.
Yep.
They already drafted their rookie in Scoot.
Yep.
They had Anthony Simons. They also had Shady and Sharp.
And they got Brogdon if they want to play him.
They got Brogdon.
And Grant's still there too?
Jeremy Grant. They actually kind of if they get coached well, they have a legitimate team now. They built a legitimate team out of trading one guy and then trading the guy that they got when they traded the one guy. I think that's an impressive situation for the
pretty
Blazers.
athletic roster there.
Athletic and fairly young. And yeah, that it's crazy what they ended up doing. They flipped Dame into basically a playoff roster.
We can finally bless and say that Dame's not a Blazer no more. And I'm gonna say this right now, man. Another quote.
You gonna hate on him?
The fans needed a new jersey to buy, man. The fans needed a new jersey to buy, and I'm happy that they're able to go either get a Scoot jersey,
Yeah, get Scoot up.
Or you got plenty of options. Ayton jersey. Ayton say he's dominating. He's dominating. That's what he's saying. He's gonna do the shit. He's gonna dominate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Rob Williams too. Let's see how Rob Williams takes this. This is kind of Robert Williams' time to kind of open. If he's healthy enough.
Yeah, you gotta stay. That's literally his only problem is staying healthy. Because whatever, yeah, he can't shoot. Nobody cares. The point is he could defend the rim. Like he had the chance to be a modern day type Ben Wallace if he just stayed healthy. Like everybody Marcus Smart won the Defensive Player of the Year. If you go check the defensive ratings for that year, the only reason Marcus Smart won the Defensive Player of the Year is one, because he had Robert Williams behind him, and then two, because Robert Williams got hurt. Because it was Robert Williams' award to win that year until he got hurt. So, yeah, I hope Rob stays healthy because I want to see the guy play. Especially they traded him to the West, so I ain't got to worry about him.
Yeah, analysis of all three of these teams, man. NBA Media Day was this week. NBA preseason starts this week as well.
Oh yeah, always right in line with hockey.
Right in line, man. The people sport. Stop playing. The entertainment sport.
The too goddamn long sport. Unless we're talking about baseball.
Right. So we talked about this a little bit during the pre-show meeting. So James Harden, he just keeps. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know where his head is at. He's got. Is he? Just as far as the off the field antics, he's starting to fall in that realm of the Dennis Rodman for me. He's like, but Rodman brought it every day to the court. Harden sometimes it seems like he checks out, and we've seen that in a couple of plays, when he was in Philly and stuff like that. But what's up with Harden? Do y'all think he's even remotely interested in winning the title, or he's content with his money and his scoring titles?
I think he's content. I just think he's content with himself. Like, this is going to be a guy that's going to be wearing Adidas forever, and he made millions of dollars. The accolades besides the NBA championship, he has about all those.
True.
For him, he's had opportunities to try to get there. He's had one opportunity to try to win one. Yeah, I guess pretty much James is just under the loop. Like, hey, I'm not going to win the championship. I'm just going to do me. But the problem with that is a business. and you got to appease other teams, either your game or your personnel, whatever the NBA wants. And James is not doing either of that right now. Now he's had some. He's fallen in the midst of the way he plays on the court. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, he got to chill out. You know what I'm saying? Because you see his friend Russell Westbrook. I know they close. You see the situation he had to go through in the last 2.5 years. That now you got to deal with reality, and your reality soon could be a bench player. You don't want that, Jake. You can still start on teams in the NBA. I don't know if teams will want you, but you can still be a starter for probably about 75% of teams in the league. You don't want that to minimize. You don't want that to go down because that could turn into your demise, Carmelo Anthony style. Like, they're going to put me on the bench, coach. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to happen.
So we talk about NBA's Antonio Brown, basically, at this point. Like, he's cooked. Like,
I can see that.
Minus the CTE, of course. Like, all the talent in the world, worked for it, worked hard to
minus
get
the CTE, but he got some shenanigans that had you scratching your head, going in.
Right, maybe that elbow from our test from Metal Watt.
Metal Watt, baby. Yeah, that elbow was vicious.
That was a vicious elbow.
Elbow was vicious.
I just don't think that I don't think he really cares as much about basketball anymore. I think he got everything out of basketball that he wanted. We look at them and we want our teams to win. We want our players to want to win. I don't think every player views it the same. I don't think every player views it as, I'm playing this game to win a championship. Some guys just play to get the bag. Some guys play because they love it and they're good at it and they know they can keep making money doing it. I'm not sure that he loves
James,
the game.
He lost the love of the game. I'll tell y'all when he lost the love for the game. He lost the love of the game when Kobe Bryant passed away. Tell you why.
Maybe.
Him and Bean were like this. And the little Under Armour, little drink shit, they were in cahoots actually with that. They were the two guys that saw that all the healthy fit and all that stuff, though you see James coming in with plastic bags of the fat. But what I'm saying that is Kobe had a lot of people that was under his wing that still loved the game of basketball. You can say Russ don't love it, but Russ loves the game. He just his situational style for the game.
Russ loves the game.
But yeah, I think James, honestly, he don't have that person, I feel, anymore to like get on him when times are rough. He don't want to listen to nobody. James just wants to be, like we said, Antonio Brown. He just wants to run his prerogative, run his life. But like you said, if you're gonna be in this NBA business, you're gonna have to somewhat stay intact. And I think he has the same problem that Iverson had a little bit. Aside from Iverson always played hard, and the same problem is that they refuse to change their game and adapt.
Evolve. Yeah,
right. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna play the way I play because that's how I play, and I'm gonna do that forever. And
that's what got me here.
Yeah, and I don't blame that thought process, but you gotta really, that is what got you here, but also no, you got better. And you got better by adapting, and they're not adapting anymore. They just want to be them. So, look, and maybe it was Kobe. I don't know. I can't put a.
I'm just saying that and all, because James used to be a guy that went out there and though you had the playoff struggles and the playoff woes, he went out there and hooped. He went out there. I feel like.
Yeah, but he never played defense, which already tells you that he wasn't trying on one end of the floor. And there was just look. Yeah, he's a monster. Like, he was a monster in his prime, but I just think, I think he got everything he wanted out of it. I don't think he cares about rings the way we want. This guy
is one of the reasons why the NBA somewhat changed. We talk about Steph Curry. Give Steph Curry his flowers all day. But the ridiculous shit that you see on the basketball court, the basketball and the moves and all that was James Harden.
Well, everybody got to step back now because of him.
No. But what I'm saying is, people, in order for their games to improve and become good, they're doing shit like that. So I feel like at some point, though he didn't play defense, he was ecstatic to go out there every night and give help. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players don't play defense. You know what I'm saying? There's only a special type of a two guard. People call him point guard, but I'm always gonna realize that James is a two guard. Everybody say point. He's a two. He's a two that got the mold, and the world was in his hands, so he got to do whatever he wanted with the basketball. So it made him.
He's a combo guard. Yeah.
But yeah, man, James, man, he's tripping right now. And the reason why we say that is the Houston Rockets. We knew and we heard all year long, even when he was playing with Philly, that the Houston Rockets may be his next destination. And according to the rumor mill, James Harden was set to get a 4-year max bag from the Rockets. At a point, he had told Ime Udoka and the staff that he wanted to go back to old James Harden. He wanted to actually win a scoring title with the Rockets. Didn't sit well with the organization, didn't sit well with the GMs, and basically the deal was taken off the table. Now, we had no news clicker of that being or happening, but it was always in the rumor mill. So it's interesting to hear that, to hear James Harden, and hear what we just spoke about.
Yeah, sounds like he's just addicted to the one way of playing.
He don't want to go to Philly. He don't want to play with Philly. They didn't go to the media day. They're gonna find him. I heard that he's scheduled to come to camp though, because he don't want to lose that bag. He don't want to start losing that money.
Also, he need to just be patient. If he ball up, if he keeps telling them, I don't want to be here behind the scenes, but then shows up, balls up,
they can move him.
They can move him at the halftime. I mean, at the All-Star break. So, and maybe they can move him for a piece. Who knows? Like I just don't know where or who wants him, because you got a guy in denial. Like, how do you want a guy who wants to still be what he was when he was 26 and he's not? 34. And yeah, he's 34 and he wants to win a scoring title. That's the wrong mindset. Especially when you have such an ability to pass, and all that scoring hasn't gotten you any rings
at all. At all.
So, yeah,
James, my God, you're a lefty, man. You know what I'm saying? Lucky lefty.
So we can talk about the NBA without talking about the WNBA. The finals are in place. For the finals for this year, we got the matchup that many had envisioned coming into the season. You got the Aces of Vegas versus the Liberty of New York. It's a battle of the super teams for the title. You got a trio of former MVPs in Asia Wilson, Jonquel Jones, Brianna Stewart, 5 former #1 draft picks, 2 of the best point guards in the world, and Chelsea Gray and Courtney Vandersloot. So it's New York's first trip to the finals in 21 years as a whole.
As a state?
Yeah.
That's rough.
While and Vegas is trying to become the first team to win back-to-back since the Sparks did it in 2001 and 2002.
And I think they beat the Liberty. The Sparks beat the Liberty in the inaugural NBA Finals, I believe.
I really want Sabrina Ionescu to get a ring. That's all I just think she's a killer. I think she had the Kobe seal of approval. And so I would enjoy seeing that.
The great thing about that, you said that, is that she may have to play that young Kobe role in the finals. Brianna Stewart, MVP of the league. Mm-hmm. She hasn't had the explosive playoffs in terms to the regular season. So hopefully the finals for her could be a come up too. But if it isn't, Sabrina's definitely going to have to play that young Kobe role, man, to get the Liberty over the top. This Vegas team broke a lot of individual WNBA records this year. They have All-Star, Hall of Fame coach, Ralovitz, basketball, the coaching line. Becky Hammond's a beast. She got a dominant team. Aja Wilson is pitting up a clinic in the playoffs. About 26 points a game, 11 rebounds. But the difference with Brianna Stewart is she can bring her out of the post and stretch her ass out, and that's what she's going to need to do and be effective. The additions for the Liberties side ladies, are going to have to perform at an overall level. This Vegas team, man, is looking for a back-to-back title. I'm going to say right now in the helm, they're going to get it. It's just too much to overcome. Now, to the Liberties' credit, the Commissioner's Cup, they did defeat the Liberties. So they won the Commissioner's Cup, which is kind of like what the NBA is doing this season with the play-in tournament. I mean, the preseason, whatever, regular season, tournament. So it's going to be tough, though. It's going to be interesting. What is crazy is we got in 1 versus 2. This has been overhyped all year. This has been the reason why these ladies went to these teams. The NBA is trying to market themselves in some capacity. I don't know how they've been this year, but this finals should have some eyes on it for sure.
So game 1 starts Sunday, October the 1st at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the game 2 is not till Wednesday, October the 11th.
I got the Liberty winning this, man.
How many games?
I think Sabrina and Brianna are going to take over.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to take over. They're going to have to straight out flatline beat the team on the other side. This team,
they got a Kobe and Shaq it. Like they got, because that other team is like the Spurs, prime Spurs, so they got a Kobe.
And you got to realize that they're coming off a 5-game series against the Sun. The Sun was no easy cookie to get by. Took them 5 games to get by him.
Who did, New York?
And the Ace swept the whole competition to the finals.
I said they were gonna broom them too. I was wrong.
I don't think it's be a broom, but they definitely can go. It's definitely something that can go 5.
Oh, this series! I think the series will go 5. I think it'll be the best for I think the WNBA.
It'll be the best for the NBA for Vegas to rip games off every night in the situation. Sorry, but it'll get you eyes and get people on to watch the game.
If that game, it'll get you more eyes to go 5 games. If they sweep them, it's gonna be bad for the league. Because if they sweep them, there is no other team that I can see messing with them. Like the Liberty have the second best roster to face them. I feel like the Suns are good, but
then you say this to say this. Now, if there's no major moves in the WNBA next year, which more likely probably won't be, you can see these 2 teams playing again. So maybe it starts something. But like you said, you don't want the Aces to be slapping the Liberty like they've been doing every other team.
You just don't want to sweep like that. Nah, I mean, a 5-game series is good no matter who wins, but yeah.
Fair enough. You ready for first break tonight, gents?
Let's go.
Yes.
We're going to take our first break for the night. We're going to be back in about 15, 20. Appreciate you hanging out with your boys on the Parlay Perspective.
Get gritty.
Hey guys, it's your girl Tamara Moore, former WNBA guard and current head coach at Masabi Range College. I want to give a big shout out to STWF Media, the big brand, for showing love and always being about those good sports. Make sure you guys show them love. You and your community can join them every week to talk about sports. Shouts out to them and make sure you check them out.
Welcome back to the Parlay's Perspective. It's your boys with the Parlay. We talked about a little bit of basketball, talked a little hockey to start it off tonight. Then we're going to go into another thing that's still fairly new to us, but we talk about sports because we are a sports set of guys. We got a little bit of news and noise, rather. Trevor Bauer. We talk a little MLB tonight. So
shout out to the Rangers first off. Shout out to the Rangers first off on advancing, into the real deal.
Shout out to the Twins.
Shout out to the Twins. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. Blue Jays can't do it again, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's in the water in Toronto. Aside from when Kawhi did it.
So Trevor Bauer, who he had a incident where he settled a lawsuit, or she dropped it rather, but he put out a shocking new video of his accuser the same day he made a major announcement. Now, he did announce that he had settled his lawsuit against Lindsey Hill, while she likewise dropped her lawsuit against the pitcher. He had sued Hill for defamation, and Hill countersued for assault and sexual battery. They settled on outstanding litigation, and both of those claims have been withdrawn with prejudice effective today. Bauer did not make or never has made any payments to Ms. Hill, including to resolve the actual litigation. Though Bauer did not pay Hill, an email regarding the settlement showed Hill received a $300,000 through her insurance policy. Bauer was placed on paid administrative leave by the MLB in July 21 after Hill initially accused him of the assault. The former Dodger pitcher did not pitch for the rest of that season. Though the charges dropped against him were dropped in April 22, MLB announced an unprecedented 2-season suspension of Bauer. the 2020 NL Cy Young Award winner, refused to admit wrongdoing in the case, which is why he got suspended so long. The two other women had also accused Bauer of improper sexual conduct, though he defended himself in both cases.
Not looking good.
Nah. Bauer, who was in his first season pitching in Japan, said in his video statement that he retained his right to speak publicly about the case as part of the settlement agreement. In the video, which is heavily edited, Bauer shares the contents of text messages sent by Hill that he claimed proves she was targeting him for his money. In one message, Hill described Bauer as her next victim. What should I steal? Hill wrote in another message to a friend when talking about visiting Bauer's home for the first time. She also said in another message that she had her hooked in Bauer and noted to a friend that Bauer's net worth was $51 million. Bauer did not include much context to the tweets, so we do not know the tone of the conversation or what preceded these messages. However, Bauer did include a short video clip in his video. The video clip is one Hill shows herself laying in bed next to Bauer smirking. I've seen that.
I've seen that one.
She's like the love child of Cardi B and Brittany Renner. This is she dangerous, man.
Bauer says the video was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent. Hill does not have any visible injuries on her face, and she looks happy. Bauer and Hill had two sexual encounters, one on April 21st and the other one on May 15th. It was 6 weeks after the second encounter that we learned Bauer was being investigated by police for the alleged assault. Hill does not appear to be injured in the video from the morning after their final sexual encounter. And over the last 2 years, I've been forced to defend my integrity, my reputation in a very public setting. But hopefully this is the last time I have to do so, as I prefer to just remain focused on doing my job, winning baseball games, and entertaining fans around the world. So today, I'm happy to be moving on with my life. That was a quote from Bauer as he concluded his video.
Well,
my question is, when are these young cats gonna realize, man, they hot targets like that?
Yeah, I agree, except it seemed like he really stepped in it with this one. Like she's like an assassin. Like
she is she's a known hoe, known druggie. He, like Coach said, when they gonna learn? When they gonna learn that you target, and she's around the city, so somebody had to bug in your ear that she was crazy, but people were gonna be people when they go. That's why I learned at an early age. My homies are gonna be your homies. I can tell you something I know or whatever, but ultimately you gonna be yourself and you gonna do what you do. So I'm gonna let you do what you do, and then if you fall under the sand, I may not be there to save you. You know what I'm saying? But man, this is crazy, man. And you know, rape allegations, sexual assault allegations are the worst cases to be in, because they are going to side, more than likely, not the man's side in the situation. You know, it could be, which words work? It could be a woman that sexual assaulted a man, but, you know, how often do we hear it? He got the shitty end of the stick, yeah, but this is fault to every franchise that he played with. The Dodgers, the people in the Dodger organization, they didn't want to wait on that. They seen that and said, this is not good for our organization. You're out. Now, if he was in the NBA, you would have fought through this. You probably would have played, probably wouldn't have played, but it would have came to a meeting. The fact that he has all these text messages and all that, and quoted in his interview, he won the only court case that mattered in the whole matter. He won that. He won the case. So overall, he didn't have to support. You know, people nowadays are just trying to as soon as something happens, no, we gotta cancel him. We gotta fire him. We can't have nothing to do with him. And hey, you gotta keep your business afloat. You gotta be smart and strategic. But if he was in a different sport, this would probably have been a different situation in the way stuff turned out for his career.
The problem is there was more than one allegation. That's really what looked bad for him. There was more than just the one person saying.
Yeah, and like I said, you get to Chris Brown situation where this continues to happen, and people are just gonna rather if they just pinpointing you. Yes, like you said, you're in two. So now not only one, maybe people can get rid of one, but then there's two, not in kind of the same instance as the first one. So it's not even like you were gonna win anyway, you know. You get Japan now playing baseball, man, and it's a crazy situation, man.
Yeah, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball too. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He'll probably be back.
Now, as my man Will had mentioned before, we do have the MLB playoffs going on right now.
Yep.
We have an update on the scores, Mr. Will.
I got a commercial right now. I do know that the Twins beat Toronto. We can check the here. I can pull up.
I got you, Willie. You know, I got you, Joe.
Ahead,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Twins got a dub early over the Blue Jays. Blue Jays eliminated. As well as earlier, the Texas Rangers advanced, beating the Devil Rays. Gave them the pound of their lives, man. Damn.
Yeah, 4-0. Expect
not 4-0. Right now, you got the Diamondbacks in the bottom of the eighth, looking to sweep the Brewers. And then you got the Phillies middle of the sixth against the Marlins. They're up 3-0, looking to sweep them and go into the next round. But so far, the wild card game doesn't seem like it's necessary to have because these teams getting swept. Oh, man. So you got teams awaiting. One series is already set. Well, two series are already set. Sorry. You got the Twins versus the Astros.
Yeah.
And that game one starts on Saturday, October 7th. No time decided yet. And then you got the Orioles. I said Angels. They fucking in the playoffs. Rangers against the Orioles. Orioles best team in the AL this year overall. The Rangers are looking to play sleeper. It's gonna be interesting. Now, all those plays that you probably lost probably will affect the Rangers, but I don't think so, man. I think they're gonna do something.
Yeah, Chris, you're right. He texted us. He hit us in the chat earlier. He was just like, "Fuck the Twins. I'm going to bed," and then we didn't hear from him since. So.
Oh, I play hockey in here. I thought he would show up tonight. You know what I'm saying? Pouting over the Blue Jays. Yeah, Jake, you knew the Blue Jays were gonna lose anyway. And I picked them to be in the ALCS. So
now, what I do like about, I'm looking for. While I don't expect us to win the series because we are going up against the juggernauts, but I am liking the youngin that we just called up. Evan Carter's been balling the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, doing work. So
looking good in that aspect.
I think he's like 6 for 6 in the so far in the playoffs. I think from what I heard them talk about, maybe he got it out or something like that after that. But at that point, when I heard the stat, he had not reached base yet in the series. So Carter's balling.
It's looking like Phillies, Dodgers, and round one in the NL side, and it's looking like Braves versus Diamondbacks in the second portion of it as well. So the MLB Playoffs Divisional Series officially tips off this weekend. That Orioles-Rangers game starts at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Central Time in Baltimore. So this will be interesting, man. Hey, fellas. Hey, since we have all these teams in the playoffs, who you got winning it?
My hope.
Braves looking good.
Yeah, I got Braves winning it all, but I got them beating the Orioles in 5.
5, okay.
Yeah, maybe 6.
Yeah, Braves looking like the team with the pedal to the metal right now. It'll be exciting to see them win. Chris is a Braves fan. He'll be happy that we're saying that tonight. Shout out to you, Chris. Nah, the Braves ain't winning shit, man. F that, Chris. You know, I'm playing with you, Chris. Got you.
Yeah, I love watching the Braves play. They're my NL team. And they got the best player in base.
I hope if they play the Phillies, I hope Bryce Harper breaks their hearts.
Damn.
It's all love, Chris. You already know, bro. But yeah, they got the best player in baseball, man. Ronald Acuna Jr. is just special player.
All right.
He better win MVP too.
Switching gears, we got the AP top 25, but we're going to get the top 10. Coming in at number 10 at a record of 5-1. Okay, they lost the game. Okay, 5-1. You got Notre Dame, and they played number 25 Louisville on Saturday.
Speaking of that, Louisville's quarterback has played Notre Dame the last 3 years. This is his third different team. that he's playing Notre Dame against.
That's a hell of a stat.
Interesting stat. I read that earlier today. So we're gonna look up the Louisville quarterback. His third. He's I think he played at California, and I forgot the other school he played at, but he played at 3 different schools, and he's played North Carolina all 3 years he's been in school. Crazy, the transfer portal does a lot of amazing things. Let's see his name, Louisville quarterback.
While Two's looking it up, last week the Irish did play without the wide receivers Jaden Thomas and Jaden Greathouse. I think they're supposed to be back this week, if I'm not mistaken. But they did struggle with them not being there against Duke. But not that they're like actual stars or anything like that. But it takes some serious time to develop a receiver and have a rapport with your quarterback.
Jack Plummer is the quarterback.
Not to be confused with Jake Plummer.
Jake the Snake.
Honestly, that's the son.
That'd be funny. It might be. I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh no, I want to look like that.
Any relation to Jake?
Not Jake from State Farm. I don't think so. No, I don't see any Jake Plummer in Wikipedia, so that means he ain't the daddy. That means he is not the daddy. Can somebody beat the Georgia Bulldogs? Somebody got to beat them. We'll see what happens.
Maybe. We'll see. So we're going to move it on to number 9.
Number 9, we've got, where's it at? At regular 5-0, I think they're a little too high. USC.
And they're high for a reason. Star power. It's that guy right there, the number 1 overall pick projected in next year's draft. That's Caleb Williams, man. That what he did, what I seen him, and it's crazy because we got to catch a USC game. Like, if you don't catch USC, you know what I'm saying, on the West Coast time, on the weekends, last week, I seen him early. You know, I was in Texas, so I got to see him earlier. Got to see him at 11 o'clock in the morning. He was dicing and slicing that defense, man. He was doing things, throwing passes. I'm sitting there like, yeah, that's why he's number 1, man. And that's why the team is at number 9 right now. I understand, you know, why they're in that position. Star power is riding it right now. And that's a kind of good situation for them.
Yeah, he had 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Six touchdowns, 1 interception against Colorado. And I think why they dropped the spot is because though they won, they struggled with a team in Colorado.
Yeah.
They shouldn't struggle with. So
defense is still a problem. But that was the issue with Lincoln Riley when he's in Oklahoma too.
Right. Yeah, they don't got to win. Also, the team that's next put a beating on the same team that they struggle with. So that looks real good for Oregon.
Yes, which is number 8 at a record of 5-0.
Yep.
This week, they played number 7, Washington. No, sorry, on the 14th. They're actually off this week, but on the 14th, they played number 7, Washington. They've been playing smothering defense. They've actually held 4 of the 5 opponents below 225 total yards. Very stingy defense against the Pac-12's best offenses, which is what the Pac-12 is known for.
Mm-hmm.
But it still might be what separates Oregon from the rest of the contenders.
Yeah, like their defense isn't great, but it's been playing at a pretty good level. So,
yeah, just need just enough to go with that high-powered offense.
Yeah, and the team that it's going to be a fun game. 5-0 versus 5-0.
That game this weekend, Washington, Oregon.
14.
What was that? Oh yeah,
October 14th.
Yeah, that's October 14th. Yeah.
Okay.
So next weekend.
Yep.
So we'll be previewing that next week, a week from now.
So number 7, we just spoke of, is Washington. The Huskies have been good offensively, but they got a penalty problem going on. They are 128th in the country at nearly 9 flags per game.
That's almost
do that.
You can't do that. You can't. You're playing
against Oregon.
You can't do that. You can't do that. We seen what Deion Sanders and them was doing when that was turning around. Plus, they was gonna lose anyway. So you don't want to end up in that situation.
Definitely.
Don't have my man Michael Penix looking crazy out there, man. Have him look like Shador. Shador was a Heisman candidate. Heisman, and then Oregon came. And I don't think Shador will be in the Heisman conversation or even close to it anymore this season. Oregon cursed them. You don't want the same Washington, man. Clean that up. That big game coming up. The focus this Saturday should be on that game in 2 weeks. Defense. And mistakes, penalties and all that. You don't want to cost yourself.
Coming in at number 6 at a record of 5-0. They play UMass on October the 14th is their next game. Penn State Nittany Lions.
Yo,
very good defense.
First off, I know people want to donate to the needy and all that, but damn, this it's not late in the season. It's probably week 6, but you playing UMass in week 6? What type of crap is that?
They got that's a weak schedule. Like they're talking, they're seen as having a good defense, but they've played West Virginia, Iowa, and Northwestern, who all rank among the bottom 30 in the country in offense.
So can we basically say that either Michigan, Ohio State is the Big Ten is going to come to Michigan and Ohio State on the last week of the season? That's what it's going to come down to. I mean, hopefully Penn State can change the narrative, but that's what you just said to me, man.
Yeah, basically.
Without saying it to me.
Number 5 at a record of 4-0, Florida State. They play Virginia Tech on Saturday. The Seminoles running game has had its moments, but they are beating up on the likes of Southern Miss. So the next couple of weeks should be telltales for them as far as is it for real?
Yeah, man. The advantages of being in the Power 5 conference, man. The advantages. And that's what Florida is going through right now. Now, can they keep the ceiling? Yeah. But like you said, Coach, as we go by, if they're playing stiff competition, then there's potential for them to move down more than move up. But if any of these teams over them lose and Florida State continues to win, then the voters are going to have to put Florida State in there.
That's true. Number 4 at a record of 4-0, Ohio State. They play Maryland on Saturday. Let me ask you all this. So he's having a slow start. I know he's regarded as the best wide receiver in the nation in Marvin Harrison Jr. But it seems like he has a lot of soft tissue injuries.
Also, his quarterback sucks.
That's true. But he is second in the Big Ten with 4.3 catches a game and 84 yards.
I gotta wonder if he gets like a bruise, he's just like, yeah, this team ain't worth it, and he just sits out, or like maybe he just doesn't give you. Maybe he got the Randy Moss in him where he's like, yeah, I'm not going all out for this team when this quarterback's trash. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, you're right about the soft tissue issues. I hope it doesn't continue.
Well, right. I'm hearing the slow starts and all that is due to a lingering ankle injury, which he had last year as well. And they're saying
that's the one he had it in the semifinal game.
Yep, they're saying the ankle injury is worse than last year's, but it's good enough to play. So maybe if he's struggling, he puts it down. Oh, this is my ankle. It's my ankle, and that's kind of what the praise you get as being a top guy at a top school. You know what I'm saying? You can get away with that shit. You can in the pros, you ain't gonna get away with that shit. You're gonna get your roster spot taken, like you said, soft tissue. You don't want to have soft tissue come being drafted into the NFL. You don't want no soft tissue. You don't want that. You have a second year to possibly bounce back, but you don't even want that opportunity. It's 3.5, average career in the NFL. So you don't want that, Marvin. Your father don't want that for you. You see what your father did in Philly. Nah, we ain't gonna talk about it here, but.
Next up, number 3, my Longhorns at a record of 5-0. They play number 12 Oklahoma this Saturday in the Red River rivalry.
Red River shootout. Red River shootout, man.
Now, here's the thing that's about that.
Cancel.
Longhorns defense is ranked just ahead of Michigan at 23 in the country. They allow 4.7 yards per play. And their offense is tied for 19th in the country with Georgia at 6.89 yards per play. Some people think that they should be the number 1 team. I like them right at number 3.
Yeah, I like them right at number 3. I like it. I feel like there's more improvement to come and more improvement to be shown from these guys. You don't want to dump them in right now. You want to keep their confidence exactly what it is, moving up week by week. You don't want to overjump them from 3 to 1. You don't want to put Texas in that spotlight right there. Coach, you mentioned, I think last week, you didn't think the game was going to go as crazy as it did. You thought it would be much different. This week, though, you got the rivalry game. Rivalry's a different beast. Hopefully they can take care of the rivalry on this side and continue to grow, man. It's great when Texas is good. Let's just say that. Giving me Chris, giving me Vince Young vibes.
Let me see. Coming in at number 2. Record of 5-0, Michigan. They played Minnesota on Saturday.
Yeah, I got to see these guys against like Ohio State or like the field because you're never going to know what Michigan is. I mean, obviously you see them winning.
I think they ranked too high.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it does. Like the schedule in the Big Ten, as much as people say, oh, Big Ten got all these crazy teams, the way they schedule the games, it makes it soft tissue. And then the games that matter, then Michigan ends up losing to a team like Ohio State or losing to if they play Penn State. Like the way it's constructed for them, this is why they lose. So obviously we're gonna have to see them against the field. To me, they'll continue to be there unless Ohio State dethrones them. But I need to see them against somebody in a different conference, like the SEC, right, for instance.
And obviously, the number 1 team in the nation right now at a record of 5-0, Georgia. They played number 20, Kentucky on Saturday. Georgia has the number 1 rushing defense in the SEC, and they've had it over the last 4 seasons. But they did. Huh?
I thought that was Alabama for a second.
But they did give up 219 yards and 5.1 per carry against Auburn. And much of it
but that's like
the quarterback.
That's like a rivalry type game where, someone that that well really knows how to play you. Kentucky also will know Georgia, but they're not as good. So Kentucky, man. So Kentucky's built a lot like Georgia is. They're just not as good as them at what they do. So this should be an interesting game, but ultimately Georgia should win.
Georgia should win, man. Hey, James, man, are you ready? James is gonna be excited on Saturday, man.
He shouldn't be. His team's gonna lose. So,
hey, man, when there's will, there's hope. I mean, Georgia's colossal, but you know what I'm saying? It's David versus Goliath, man. Here's your chance on CBS SEC Saturday.
Copyright infringement.
All right. So now we got paging Dr. Will. We got NFL Week 5 injuries.
I should have had that ready already. I had everything else ready today, except for that. We got some. Was it? Oh yeah, here we go. Boop, boop. Pull this up. We're not gonna dive into every single injury, just the injuries that may affect your team and or your fantasy team.
Now, before we do this, I want to give a shout out. I'm gonna be petty right now. Shout out to Randy Gregory.
Yeah. Didn't go well.
But
I think did they do that? Did they do that because of them or because he wanted out?
He might have gotten some riff. This sounds like getting in a riff with Sean Payton, and Sean Payton's like, "Fuck that, I got the power."
Yep.
I got the power.
You got to think this is the same dude on his way out. He shitted on the Cowboy organization that stood by him the entire time when people told him Jerry that we need to get rid of him.
Jerry bring him back? Jerry bring him back?
I don't think it will. Because Michael called him out after he left when he started talking about penalties. He did it indirectly when he talked about the game when they played San Fran at home and he talked about the penalties. As Randy Gregory had like 2 or 3 bonehead plays.
It'd be fascinating though. All right, so week 5, NFL injury report. Just for the quarterbacks here, we got Deshaun Watson with some shoulder situations.
Stop right there for a minute.
Yep, so we're gonna stop right there. Yep. Oh, you read my mind.
They said he was healthy enough to play, but he made the decision not to play this past Sunday.
That is fascinating.
You know, call it putting the jello up.
What do we believe?
I believe the Browns. I believe, but this is what happens. You give this man power still. $200 something million. Already got in trouble. Already
guaranteed.
guaranteed, and he made a decision at 11:30 that he was not playing. 11:30 that he was not playing.
Right before
and he was helping him to go play.
I tend to side with the player in these situations, but I don't know. But it'll be fun to see Dorian Thompson-Robinson get a.
Oh yeah, we seen Dorian Thompson
because he was balling in the preseason.
He was one of my guys.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be nice in the draft.
UCLA.
And he ended up with 4 picks. He had 4 picks the other day. But it was young. He went in the time. He would when he was announced as a starter. He had a Nick Chubb shirt on, looking like he was just going to be a fan at the game.
Oh yeah, he had 3 interceptions. Oof, rough.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for that. Deshaun Watson put that man in bad water, man. I mean, you should stay ready, but you didn't in that situation where you practice all week to play, and then you said, "I'm not playing." Like, come on,
man. We got Justin Herbert for the Chargers with a finger injury.
Herbert he took last Sunday.
Herbert injured his finger in the third quarter of what was an unremarkable game for him. Since he returned without an issue, albeit wearing a glove, it doesn't appear that this will linger, and that is a good thing.
Hopefully it does not linger because they don't need him at any point.
Nah, he pretty much is the team, especially with Eckler out still, so like it's all him. Moving forward, we got Matthew Stafford for the Rams.
Did he deal with this last year or no?
Stafford injured his hip while throwing for 319 yards. The good news is that doesn't appear to be an issue that will impact status for next week. He said himself, I'll be out there. So
he's a warrior.
Yeah, he always is. He plays for everything. I remember that clip from his rookie season where it's basically, I feel like his shoulder was like popped out. They popped it back in. He went in and threw a touchdown pass for the game. He's tough as hell. So Kenny Pickett, Steelers, he got a bone bruise on his knee from what I remember seeing.
Inner Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky. But I'm not sure how much of a downgrade it would be at this point.
Wash.
Yeah. Same guy, right?
Same guy.
All right.
Shout out to Spill the Immunity live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow morning, that is. Get a fun recap of the TV show Survivor 45 with the crew. I watched it last week. Very entertaining. I don't know a lot about Survivor, but I put some questions in there to kind of, you know what I'm saying, pick the minds. But tune in tomorrow, Bree and the crew, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time.
11 a.m. Central. So, okay. All right. Yeah, I should be awake by then. That's really the problem, Bree. Yeah, you be doing the morning shows, and even though that's afternoon for me, I don't wake up till I have
night owl.
Yeah, like if you did your show 4 in the morning, I wouldn't miss a minute.
Won't be able to pop on.
Yeah, for real. All right, so now we got a week 5 injury report for running backs. Javonte Williams from Denver Broncos got a hip situation going on.
And that's bad because the guy behind him, and McLaughlin, man, got picked up in a lot of fantasy leagues, man.
I don't know why it's bad. McLaughlin, nice. He's balling.
No, McLaughlin, no, I'm talking about for him. Last year,
for Javonte? Yeah, Javonte might lose his job. His bum ass. Stay healthy, bro. It wasn't like he was killing before he went out. They should have moved on to McLaughlin already. Like he was, especially with how he's playing now. What she said, she's
no, we're still working on that promo. I got to get a minutes over to Dale.
The next person on this list is Rico Dowdle. This affects you guys. I love watching this guy play. I've seen a couple games with him, and I've been like, yo, you might have a real running back number 1 and have put Tony back in his role.
A lot of people see him as the power back to replace Zeke.
Yeah. Just put him in the Zeke role and put Tony back where he belongs. Keep him healthy, and you should be good. By the way, are y'all impressed with what Tony's been doing despite the injury that he had last year? And
I just thought that the elevation was just too fast. Like that, y'all more to get Zeke out, like to kind of just throw Zeke under the bus. I honestly just thought like we could just continue to like train him on the pedal. You know what I'm saying? Until the bike was fully furnished and he could ride it. But yeah, he's gonna fall into a situation like this when the Cowboys now gonna sit here and then try to downgrade him and say, "Oh, we paid you too much." Like, and that's not good.
Now, for the record, Tony Pollard is 5th in rushing.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at. Like he's doing all right
behind Bijan, Connor, Swift, and McCaffrey.
Bijan's leading the league?
No, Bijan's tied for third with Connor.
Oh, yeah, McCaffrey's leading the league, yeah.
Yeah. McCaffrey, he's up by
100 or something, 200 maybe.
Almost 100 yards.
Yeah, that dude's going nuts.
Over Swift.
Swift is second?
Yep.
Swift been having the last couple weeks.
We hit the big-ass Monday night game.
Yeah,
Thursday night game, whatever that was.
All right, now we got week 5 NFL injury report for wide receivers. Devontae Adams' shoulder. We all saw how he landed. If you watched the game, did not look great. I don't know. He said briefly exit with the shoulder injury. Things could have gotten much worse. Adams ultimately returned and caught 8 passes. Well, he came back. He was fine. It looked bad when it happened. I think that was that Monday night game?
I think it's reunion. I think it's reunions on Monday at Green Bay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if they don't trade back for him soon anyway. They might as well, right? Like, why would he stay with the Raiders if he doesn't have to? Another guy is T. Higgins for the Bengals. Unfortunately, T. Higgins, things didn't appear to have as a positive an outlook as the Bengals receiver appears to have suffered a rib fracture. Oof.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, especially because it can poke your lung and cause a lot more problems than that, but luckily it didn't. This appears to be something that will keep Higgins sidelines for more than just 1 week. That means an increase in target share for Tyler Boyd. Perhaps we will see Jamar Chase truly get on track. Yeah, I saw somebody making a point that if somehow, whether it's scheme or whatever the case, if Puka Nacua can break the record for like catches in the first 3 or 4 weeks of a rookie season, and also that means the targets, why are they not just feeding Jamar Chase more? Like, Jamar Chase can get open. We know that. Jamar Chase is one of the best receivers in the league. Get him the ball. They showed his numbers. Like, he, out of like 12 targets, like 8 of them were first downs. Like, every time he touches, like, so get him the ball, man. Like, y'all suck. What do y'all have to lose right now? Moving forward, we got Deebo Samuel.
Always on the injury report.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bill Belichick school. How they use him, how they deal with him. Like, they always put him on, but he be playing though.
Yeah,
a lot of times. Like, sometimes he miss games, but he be playing most of it. But he was active in week 4 and on the field for majority of the snaps. He didn't have any targets and carried the ball just 3 times for 6 yards. So they literally had him out there decoying. He was not ready to play, but they still put him out there as like just a decoy. That's interesting. We also got for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we got Mike Evans, whose hamstring is
bothering him again.
Yeah.
Good thing they're on a bye week this week.
Yeah, so they buy in, so we won't really have to buy into that or worry about that till next week. Jahan Dotson from the Commanders. Ultimately, it was just a temporary exit from the game. Dotson, as he did return to action after injuring his ankle. Dotson only caught 2 passes for 12 yards, but the good news is he's seemingly healthy. And Jonathan Mingo, concussion. So you know how that will play out. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Week 5 injury report for tight ends. We got Pat Freiermuth. Let me see. It was
not good.
Yeah, hamstring injury in the coming days will be something to monitor. We'll see what happens. But honestly, if you're gonna, I know you'd want to give Mitch something to work with. But if you're starting quarterbacks out, let's not get Pat killed with a backup. Maybe just sit Pat. Yeah. Jawan Johnson for the New Orleans Saints has a calf issues for the Aints. We're gonna see. It means we're gonna travel back to 2010 again for more Jimmy Graham. Yeah, we should probably see more Jimmy Graham and Donald Parham. That's the guy who came out of XFL.
Yep.
Yeah. Phil the coach.
Out of Orleans.
Yeah. So hopefully he gets in there. Let me see. He should be able to play. But yeah, those are all the main issues. There's probably other positions with other injuries, of course. These are only offense, which is basically a fantasy situation.
Let's talk about some notable ones real quick.
The
Patriots, Judon and Christian Gonzalez.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about that. Forgot all about that. Yeah. So basically, the best 2 players on our defense are basically gone for the rest of the season, or most of it.
JC's back though. JC Jackson traded for this morning.
Yeah. Fascinating move. I got to assume that Bill did his due diligence on the open. I think it's an open case with JC right now.
Yep.
He must have did his due diligence, because why would you sign up to bring that contract that you didn't even want to give him? You didn't want to pay him that. So you signed up to get him back while he has an open case. I'm assuming that he knows a little more than we all do and that maybe that case doesn't have legs.
I was talking to a Chargers fan this morning, and we discussing a little bit in regards to the J.C. Jackson situation.
He didn't want to be there.
I personally said he didn't want to be there, and he probably was setting this up to become a nah. I can't say that because Christian Gonzalez got hurt in the pitch. I think he was just setting it up to be able to get out. You know what I'm saying? But the Patriots ended up with this injury. Oh, we're familiar with him, and you know how the Patriots are. They'll go sign somebody that's familiar with the defensive schemes, and you go get J.C. Jackson for absolutely basically nothing. You know, the guaranteed money was already gone from the Chargers. So there you go.
Yeah, I think it's funny. He basically doesn't have to pay him all that signing bonus and guaranteed money, and he gets him for around the price that he probably would have paid him, minus all the other stuff. And he gets a guy that he knew he made. JC wasn't nearly as good with the Chargers. Basically, because he's more of a system corner, and it's this system that he does good in. He's a good player, but he's better with us. And so now we get to replace the rookie who was balling and got hurt. And I mean, I like that he came back because I like what it means for the future with him. But I don't even really want him to play right now. Hopefully, maybe the case to keep him out or something like that. Because
he can throw get some picks against Jameis Winston.
I don't want that. I don't want us to win.
Y'all want to win?
No, not this year. It's a wash already. We're 1-3 or 4, whatever. 1-3, and I mean the next 2 games are winnable. But I it's not like a bad fan. I said this on BS and Beer. I think BS and Beer brought me on because it was Patriots versus Saints, and they're Saints guys, and I think they wanted me to oppose, and they immediately got the wrong. Like they saw their vibe was wrong because I was like, no, I want my team to lose. I'm not even rooting for them right now. It's my team, but I don't really want them to win. I want them to tank. Maybe we don't get Caleb, obviously, because I don't know if we're going to be able to outtake the Bears. But maybe we get Ewers or something. I'm done with Mac. Let's move forward.
I'm not done with Mac. Bring more Mac.
No more Mac. No more mac and cheese. I don't want no return of the Mac. I'm all set.
Let's go, Mac Jones. Woo, Mac Jones.
But yeah, so that's a lot of the injuries for the week. Hopefully there won't be too many more. We never want all these injuries.
Appreciate.
I was crazy, man. Cowboys dealing with a lot of, dealing with some major injuries, man. We lost Trey Diggs for the season. Now Patriot fans are reminiscing just like us, man. Losing some of their star players on defense. Tragedy, man. I guess we do have something in common, even though the hate is real on both sides.
Yeah. I mean,
all right. Got one more section left, gents. Yes, sir.
That's a great little promo that we get. Well, who's the random white guy? Like, it's
Jay.
Dale, man.
So we got here. So Jake is going to send off his picks later on.
Return to reality. Yes,
ass.
So, to start, first off,
whatever, Bree. Oh, that's not Bree. No, it's not Bree. Who's Rocket? Wait, is it? Nah. She be coming through with different pages, so I don't know who's Rocket.
You know who that is.
Who is that?
You know who that is.
Why am I tripping? I don't remember. Who is that?
There's only three people that post under comments, and it's not me. And you on, and you ain't commenting on the podcast right now. So who do you think it is?
Oh, this guy over here.
Hey, what's funny is it took me a while too to finally realize what it was. And you know how I just realized that?
What?
Probably like a month or two ago, or 3. So don't feel bad. I didn't know until one night. I'm like, hold on, what the hell?
My man over here, stealth posting during the show.
So right now, as we talked about the other day, Will is at 37-28. He went 13-3 last week.
Woo.
Toog is at 39-26. He went 12-4 last week.
Fucking Giants. Man.
Jake is at 40-25. He went 10-6 last week. And I am at 41-24. I went 13-3 last week. So, week 5 games. Oh, yeah, God. We started off with Chicago at Washington.
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. Washington. They're playing some good ball. The enemy looking good out there. We got Sam Howell looking better than we expected.
Washington's looking good offensively.
And the Chiefs are not.
They're not looking good.
They're not.
Is it time to give him his flowers?
That and also Chiefs GM or whoever, like, is Andy Reid, is he the GM too?
I think he is.
Well, Chiefs GM chose an awfully awkward year to, we're getting rid of who we don't think. I mean, he thinks he's one of the best OCs in the world. We don't really think so, so we're gonna let him go. And also, let's not give Pat any receivers outside of Kelsey. Like, let's just.
The GM is Brett Veach.
Yeah, Veach, you got some explaining to do, brother. But yeah, I got Commanders on this one.
I got Commanders as well.
Take the Thursday. We'll take the Thursday sweep. We'll go Commanders as well.
Jacksonville at Buffalo.
Yeah, give me some Buffalo.
It's live. It's in London too. Just let everybody know.
Ugh, is it? Yeah, 9:30. That's awful. Jacksonville's kind of used to doing this though. They've done it a few times.
Yeah,
they actually I think it'd be their 9th. They just played in London last week too, so it'll be their 9th game, I believe. And no, not 9th. I think 18 or 19 game.
Wait, 18 or 19?
No, sorry, 8 or 9th game.
8 or 9. Yeah.
I'm talking about what the hell.
At first, I thought they were sending them there because they suck. Then I was like, oh, I think they keep sending them there because now that they have sent them a few times, they built them a fan base. The fans actually, that's probably their team over there. They're like, yo, we fuck with the Jaguars. We used to see them when they were trash, and we were like, yeah, we did too.
Buffalo will.
Yeah, Buffalo. I still think the Bills got that.
Shit. Buffalo on a high after last week. Jacksonville tried to shake the boat. I'm gonna go Buffalo. I think this is the start of something. In Jacksonville's case, this is not the game you wanted after trying to prove yourself against Atlanta. That's Atlanta. You're gonna be facing the real deal. Just don't get Miami. Just don't get made me young by these guys. But I'm gonna take the Bills.
Okay.
Who you got?
Me, Buffalo. Buffalo Bills. Okay. Next up, we've got Houston at Atlanta.
Fascinating game. I've liked watching both of these teams play football this year. Atlanta, not as much because then Ritter is just not as good as he needs to be. Like, that team has enough talent around them that if they had a real quarterback over there, they could be kind of dangerous, low key. But I'm gonna go with the Texans. Stroud is showing to be everything as advertised, as Jake will tell you during the regular season. We'll see what happens. But I got the Texans.
Yeah, man. Texas 3 in a row. I think the Texans are gonna win their 3rd game in a row.
Mm-hmm. He's like, do I want to sleep on the couch or not?
I'm going to go with Houston as well. They have been looking good. And Atlanta's been looking like they're regressing.
He chose no couch this season.
Carolina at Detroit. You already know what my pick is.
Yeah, me too. We here. Detroit. Let's go.
Yeah, Bryce Young is looking disappointing. The Lions are on the extra high, and they can continue to smoke and puff the weed. Go Lions.
Tennessee at Indy.
Tennessee at Indy. Now this right here, it's not a this
battle of
right
the bottom feeders.
It's not a gimme.
Is this a gimme?
No, it's not a gimme. It's not.
No, it's not a gimme at all. Sorry. It's not a gimme for either team. My apologies. I'm gonna go with Colts. I'm gonna go the home team in this one.
Yeah.
Don't want to judge against Mike Vrabel, but I'm gonna go Colts.
I just really like what Anthony Richardson's doing. The numbers
aren't.
Should have
won that game against the Rams last week. But.
Yeah, the numbers aren't gaudy, but when he's on the field, he's putting his team in positions to win still. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts as well.
Jonathan Taylor back Sunday too, I believe. Speculation says trending upward.
That's gonna be my 1-point game though, because I'm not sure about that game at all. For those of you who know about confidence picks, it's a 1-point game.
Colts as well. So everybody taking the Colts, right?
Yeah.
The Giants at Miami.
Yeah. So
go Dolphins.
I'm gonna put this as my 16-point game, which is the highest you can go. Oh no, highest you can go this week is 14 because the bye week started. 14-point game, as in I'm super confident that the Dolphins will win this game.
After getting snackled by the Bills, a New York team's coming back. Another New York team they're playing. Yeah. They're about to do this.
Yeah, they're gonna take it out on the other New York team. Yeah,
it might be their second 40-point game of the season right here.
Seriously, could be.
We are Saints at the Patriots.
Who'd you pick? You be trying to sneak away.
Miami.
Okay.
My bad.
That's hey. Plus the Giants already got 40 put up on them. So
a lot of I think Giants are the worst team in football. I think
really.
I think
worse than the Bears.
I don't trust Daniel Jones. Saquon is hurt. Nobody wanted to catch the ball on offense. I see the Bears winning 9.
Like that's Super Bowl 6.
Saints Patriots though, man, from New England. Where you going? Saints and Patriots. Where you going?
So on Dale on BS and Beer with Dale and them, I picked the Saints, and I think is Carr back yet?
Yes.
I don't even know why I asked that. That doesn't really help my pick because he's not that he's great. Yeah, I just think in a short turnaround, it's going to be difficult for my Patriots to adjust to losing what we lost on defense. I'm gonna go with the Saints here, and that's going to be a 2-point game because I'm not positive about that.
I'm gonna go home team. I'm gonna go Patriots in this one. If they go 1-4, they lose to the Saints. Fire sale starts. Do I want the fire sale, or do I want the fire sale, or do I want the Patriots to win? I want the Patriots to win this week. Patriots.
I don't think they're gonna sell. If they start selling, then that's probably. No, I know what you mean. If they start selling though, that's gonna make right because that probably once you start selling, that means Bill's getting
packing it in for the year.
Yeah, Bill's gonna get up out of here.
New England at home, short turnaround, but New Orleans is dismal.
Both teams got slapped. Well, both teams in a sense got slapped up last week, so it's gonna be interesting. And then it's crazy.
Camaro's back, right?
Yeah, I feel like both teams have good defenses, but ours got hurt. And as far as and both teams have mediocre offenses, but the Saints at least know who they are on offense. We have no idea.
Will help me make up my mind. I'm going with the Saints on this one. Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
No Pickett, the Mitch Trubisky show. Yeah, let's go Ravens.
Ravens are going to continue to call those wins, man. Continue early, especially about Cincinnati's in the Shangos. Keep picking those wins up, Baltimore.
I don't know how they're doing it, but you're right. They're just doing it. Like they're getting.
There's another day at the office.
They're just grinding out ugly ass wins, grinding them out, and just like, hey, we'll take the win, move on, see what happens next week. Who you got?
I got Baltimore as well.
Okay.
Philly at the Rams.
This is a fascinating one. Rams also keep being in games that I don't expect them to be in, with guys hurt, and they're still playing well. But
lackluster running game.
Yeah, Is Cam Akers still? Didn't they trade Cam Akers?
No,
I don't even know who they're
hold on. You said lackluster running game.
Who's their running back?
Ron Williams been cooking.
Oh, Kieran Williams has been kind of doing all right.
Yeah, like he had 2 touchdowns last week. He had like 100 yards rushing. He's been cooking. Nuka. Oh, we talking about Nuka, but the other guy. Yeah.
I should know this too because I have him on my fantasy team. I forgot about that.
Well, but you got to think he's going up against probably one of the better run defenses in the league. And right now, yeah, he's balling, but he got 245 yards at 3.8 a carry.
Yeah,
and don't quite get me going there.
Show me the Eagles. Yeah, I got the Eagles.
Oh man, I'm gonna take the Eagles in this one. I kind of was gonna lean. I was kind of gonna lean upset on this, but like I said, man, maybe too much. Philly maybe too much for the Rams. I think it's a close one though. I think it stays close.
The next game is a get back on the snide game.
Well, Philly struggling. You know what? I'm gonna go with Philly as well. Philly kind of struggled against the pass, but I'm gonna go with Philly as well. Cincinnati at Arizona. Yeah. Yuck.
I'm gonna be real.
Arizona wins.
The next game is equally as yuck, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I just like they have to win this game. That's at this
the
point.
Season's probably over.
Yeah, so they have to win. They're in like a have to win situation. Not just because of what their record is right now and where they are. It's because if you can't muster up a win against these Cardinals, just pack it the fuck up. Just like it's pack. Not that the Cardinals aren't playing well because they played a good game against you guys, but I'm saying as who you're supposed to be coming into the season, Bengals, what your roster is, you need to and the fact that you have lost some of these games, you have to beat the Cardinals. You have to.
I want to say that the Bengals season ends this Sunday, but I always got to keep in the back of my head that one Joe Burrow game is coming, and this game may be Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Cincinnati, but I feel bad picking them right now because I so want to pick Arizona, but I'm not gonna do it.
The Jets at the Broncos.
Oh, man. Now Zach Wilson has to go into the Mile High City after an impressive showing, though he didn't win. I think Zach Wilson gets a win this week. I think the Jets beat Denver.
Yeah, I agree. Denver's bad. They've been in some games, but their defense has been awful.
At the Jets as well, so it's a sweep for the Jets.
You know what?
Nah,
I'll stick with it.
Shit.
I know the game I'm gonna pick up a point on, y'all. I already know.
Chiefs at Minnesota.
Yeah, let's all just pick Chiefs because we know that's where we're going.
Nope, that's not where I'm going this week. I'm going Vikings.
Fascinating.
I'm going Vikings. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Both of these seasons are exactly the same to me. And I'm gonna be real. As much as we can say Patrick Mahomes is gonna overpower Kirk, Kirk's numbers look crazy this season. Patrick really don't.
You give Patrick Justin Jefferson and they don't.
Yeah. Well, Kirk Cousins got them this week, so Kirk Cousins got to do the damn job. I'm going Vikings over the Chiefs. Upset special.
Listen to Itchy. She was waiting for that pick.
Sorry,
Bree.
In the games in Minnesota, I like the Vikings' chances to win this game. I think they're both evenly matched.
As long as Kirk Cousins is still throwing goal line interceptions in year 11, I think I'm safe picking against him.
I've got Kansas City. So you got Kansas City as well, right?
Yeah.
Me and Will have Kansas City. 2 has Minnesota. Sunday night game, Dallas at San Francisco.
San Fran, easy button.
Nah. This is where the regular season starts. I told y'all.
That's where it ends,
my boys. This is going to be a fascinating Monday for everybody. It's going to be a fascinating Monday. I'm letting y'all know that. Just letting y'all know that now. It's going to be a fascinating Monday. And if the Cowboys lose, it's going to be a fucking problem.
I'm going to go with San Francisco. I don't think the red zone woes have been figured out, and you can't go into San Fran kicking field goals.
Nope.
And I think Ayuk is supposed to be back this week too.
And Dirty Purdy is a thing. That dude is a beast. He went started the game off 15 for 15, and it wasn't all small passes.
I one possession. I just feel like every time we lost against the 49ers, it's been one possession that's fucked us over. The motto of this game is we can still do the same shit that we've been doing in terms of trying to hide that, in a sense. If our defense comes to play a little bit and all that, the running game comes to play. It's one possession that's going to tell this game again. I just hope the possession goes in Dallas' favor this time. Because that's honestly what I'm looking at. It's the reason why we can't beat these guys. Either one play early that gets these guys up and then the momentum is there for the rest of the game. We have to start with the momentum first. And I think we are this Sunday. I think we are.
Now, I'll give you a little bit of hope for this one. Dallas has not lost a regular season game in San Francisco since 97.
It's an ESPN stat.
Let it go in Dallas' favor. Let it go in Dallas' favor this week. Come on, guys. Y'all know y'all want to do it.
Now, then the Monday night game, Green Bay at Las Vegas.
Green Bay, Vegas. This is tough, man. This is tough right here. No,
wait, isn't Jimmy G? Isn't Jimmy G in concussion protocol?
He'll be playing this week.
Oh yeah, he wasn't on the thing list, so
he'll be playing this week. This is tough, man. This is real tough in Vegas. Packers, Raiders. Man, I'm gonna go away team. I don't see the Packers losing 2 prime games in a row. I can't pick the Raiders. I can't pick them.
Green Bay for me as well. So clean sweep for Green Bay. So looking at our picks, all but 4 games, we all had the same picks.
Yeah, see, this is where it gets tough, to gain.
I'm about to flip the switch this week. I tell everybody that Vikings victory should give me at least 10 points. Keep telling y'all.
You need 10 points.
But that is our week 5 picks by the Parlay and STWF-TV. Shout out, fellas.
Let Jake get a head start. Now we on his ass. Shout out to everybody tuned in tonight. Shout out to you guys.
He folded pretty quick.
Yes.
Like a lawn chair.
He's gone 10-6 over the last 3 weeks.
He getting tight.
He's going to 10 and what?
10-6.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that ain't bad. It just ain't.
It ain't cutting it when we over here, stomping on the competition, man.
Dude, we went 12-3 the last couple. I went 12-3. You went 12-3. So yeah, we're getting on them now.
Shout out to the competition. Y'all make it better. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys. Want to give a shout out to the Austin Bright community. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? First day I work today. They was missing me. You know what I'm saying? Where the hell you been at? All the kids come and give me a hug. Where you been at?
Where's Uncle Took?
Oh, you know where I told him I went?
Where?
Out of space. Told him I had a bunch of moon cheese.
Poisoning them kids' mind. That's what's up. Yeah, shout out to you, fellas. Shout out to the chat coming through. Appreciate y'all. And shout out to the brand, man. We're here. Y'all doing great as usual. Making me look good just by sitting here debating next to y'all. You know what I mean? So
you looking handsome.
Shout out to Chris, Lil J's Donuts, Josh, Kyrie, Chris Ballard, Brady, Paul, and Bree. If I forgot anybody, my apologies as always. Appreciate y'all showing your unwavering support. Letting us do what we do.
Philly up 7-0, top of the 9th. This game's probably over. Which means Miami's out of here and Philly's moving on.
It's a that, man.
I wonder who Philly faces next. Who is waiting for them? The Dodgers? Oh no, Philly. The Braves. The Braves are waiting for them. That's a tough matchup. Shit.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Everybody, make sure y'all tune in. I think Friday we have the SEC. College football with BS and Beer. So make sure you tune in for that. Movies at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. that being
all
said,
my-
say again.
Sorry. For all my tap out fans, we are in a little hiatus. We will be back. We're not gone. I promise. We'll be back.
Please, Willie.
You heard saying?
We appreciate y'all. Much love, man. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Find this podcast and others on STWF-TV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.